Let's dive into the universe that has captivated millions, the Star Wars franchise. It's more than just a collection of films. It's a sprawling narrative that includes animated series, novels, comic books, and video games. Whether you're a Jedi loyalist or a Sith supporter, there's something for everyone in this epic saga. Here are some interesting elements that define the franchise. As a fan, I'll never forget the first time I watched A New Hope in 1977. George Lucas took us on an unforgettable journey through a galaxy far, far away. The original film, Star Wars Episode IV, A New Hope, premiered, introducing iconic characters like Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia. Starting in 1999 with The Phantom Menace, Lucas enriched the backstory, exploring the rise of the Galactic Empire. New tales emerged from 2015 onward, appealing to both rising fans and nostalgic older generations. It's incredible how Star Wars has evolved over the decades, yet still manages to capture the imagination of new audiences. As I sit back and watch my favorite Star Wars scenes, I can't help but notice the rich tapestry woven with science fiction threads. Named after technology and futuristic concepts, the franchise showcases iconic vessels like the Millennium Falcon and Star Destroyers exploring the cosmos. Characters like R2-D2 and C-3PO showcase advanced robotics and artificial intelligence. A plethora of species from different planets enriches the universe. These elements definitely root Star Wars in the sci-fi genre, sparking imagination and conversation about technology's potential. However, there's no denying the strong fantasy vibes in Star Wars, making it a unique hybrid. Here's what stands out. This mystical energy binds the universe and acts like magic. Luke and Rey embark on classic quests, fitting the archetypal hero mold. Lightsabers clash in a battle of good versus evil, reminiscent of traditional medieval tales. For me, it's this combination of sci-fi and fantasy that makes Star Wars so special. It truly feels like an adventure through both realms, appealing to the dreamer and the tech lover in all of us. Diving deeper into the narrative structure, Joseph Campbell's concept of the Monomyth, or the hero's journey, resonates loudly in Star Wars. This framework outlines a common pattern found in myths and stories throughout history. Key stages include the call to adventure. The hero is summoned to a quest. Meeting the mentor, a guiding figure, aids the hero's growth. The ordeal, a crucial test that pushes the hero to confront their fears. I often find myself reflecting on how these elements resonate in all our favorite tales, and Star Wars uses them beautifully. In Star Wars, we witness this hero's journey firsthand, especially through Luke Skywalker. His path is a textbook example of Campbell's model. Call to adventure, when Luke discovers the message from Princess Leia in R2-D2. Mentor Obi-Wan Kenobi serves as his guide, teaching him the ways of the Force. The ordeal. Luke faces Darth Vader and the harsh realities of war, which leads to tremendous personal growth. These stages make the story not just captivating, but also relatable, capturing the struggles and triumphs we all face in our journeys. One of the most fascinating concepts in Star Wars is the Force. For me, it's the heart of the saga, acting as a binding energy that connects all living things. Here's how I see it: light side versus dark side. The duality of the Force symbolizes balance and choice, reflecting our own struggles between good and evil. The Jedi and Sith. The Force has distinct practitioners. Jedi wield it for peace, while Sith harness it for power, echoing ancient mythologies. This depth makes the Force feel almost spiritual, adding layers to the story that resonate with audiences on multiple levels. When comparing the Force to traditional fantasy magic systems, interesting contrasts emerge. In many fantasy tales, magic often comes with spells, potions, or incantations. Star Wars, however, does it differently. Intuition over ritual. Users tap into the Force through intuition rather than complex procedures, making it feel more organic and personal. Consequences. Actions taken using the Force come with significant repercussions, emphasizing responsibility, a theme often lacking in standard fantasy magic. For me, this unique approach to magic makes the Force feel realistic and impactful, enriching the narrative and connecting it to broader themes of choice and consequence. When we dive into the characters of Star Wars, it's hard not to notice how brilliantly they reflect classic archetypes. Joseph Campbell once noted that heroes and villains share familiar traits across cultures, and Star Wars brings this to life beautifully. Here are a few standout archetypes. The hero Luke Skywalker embarks on his journey to become a Jedi, representing the unlikely hero. The mentor, Obi-Wan Kenobi, guides Luke, fulfilling the wise elder role. The villain, Darth Vader, embodies the tragic hero turned dark, illustrating the struggle within. As a fan, I appreciate how these archetypes resonate, not just within Star Wars, but across countless stories we love. Star Wars also brilliantly weaves traditional fantasy tropes into its character development. Let's take a look. The Chosen One. An age-old trope seen in many fantasy narratives is the character destined to bring balance. Anakin Skywalker's storyline fits this mold perfectly. Companions and sidekicks. Think of Han Solo and Chewbacca, a dynamic duo who complement each other beautifully, reminiscent of classic fantasy friendships. These elements not only bolster character depth, but also ground Star Wars within the wider realm of fantasy literature, making its stories universally appealing. It's fascinating to see how these age-old tropes are revitalized in a galaxy far, far away. As Star Wars fans, we often dive deep into what's known as the expanded universe, now referred to as Legends. This treasure trove enriches our understanding of the galaxy beyond the films. I remember picking up my first Star Wars novel and feeling completely transported. Here are some key elements of the expanded universe. Novels series, like Timothy Zahn's Thrawn trilogy, delve into character backstories and complex plots. Comic books, titles such as Star Wars, Darth Vader tell untold stories, showcasing the intricacies of beloved characters. Animated series, Star Wars. The Clone Wars offers additional context and depth to the events between the trilogies. What makes the expanded universe particularly magical is how it incorporates rich fantasy elements alongside science fiction. Epic quests. Many characters embark on journeys that feel distinctly epic and mythical, reminiscent of classic fantasy adventures. Unique species and cultures. From the mystical Night Sisters to the warrior Mandalorians, the diverse lore adds layers of fantasy to the narrative. Reflecting on these elements enhances my appreciation for how Star Wars truly combines different genres, creating a captivating blend that invites exploration. The immersive stories in the expanded universe keep the spirit of Star Wars alive and expand its legacy beautifully.